thanks for coming and chatting to me.
You're welcome, Gary.
Can you sum up how you're feeling tonight?
Absolutely ecstatic. Brilliant.
Um,
Run out of adjectives today, actually. How happy.
When we spoke this time last year, you quite firmly said, I want my team to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
After the start we had, was there ever a point where you thought you'd sort of overstretched and that was never going to be a reality?
Yes.
And
You take our early season form, we lost to Airdrie, heavily. We lost at home to Stirling, heavily. The players were taking time to gel, and you're hopeful. You're always hopeful, and you're saying, give them time. But sometimes in football you don't get time. And unfortunately for us, we got the time to try and turn it around. We spoke to the players. We had some good results between, say, September, October. We had some good results tucked in there. The win at East Fife, a couple of good home victories. But then come December, we played Albion Rovers away, and we were poor. We were very poor. And after that game, if you remember, the weather was quite bad. So we went to Tory Glen on Tuesday night, and training was off. So we sat down in the dressing room, myself, Jack, Gal, all the players, and we gave them the chance, we gave them the floor to speak. We had our say, we've always got our say, but we gave them their say as well, what's going wrong. Because I thought we'd hit rock bottom away to Albion Rovers. We were beaten 3-1, it could have been 5 or 6, played really poorly. So we gave them the players, we said, look, you can either languish and fight a relegation battle, or you can pull your socks up, be the players that we know you are, and get yourself up the table. And get to mid-table, and we'll take it from there. Go up to mid-table with a few good results, then come the end of the year, we asked them again, do you want to sit and fight mid-table for the rest of the season, or do you want to push on and really have a crack at this, and get yourself up the league? And the players have responded unbelievably well. They went in that run in January and February. We won games that we didn't think, we didn't look as if we were going to win, and they got me a couple of Manager of the Month awards. It was them that got me that, nothing to do with me, because we just give them a platform to play on, and we asked them to express themselves as players, and by here they come through with the goods. So much so that people are talking, can we win the league? Could you win this league? Because we were on the tails of Arbroath and Cowdenbeath, who had been the linchpins all season. They'd been the top 2 teams without a doubt. And then we had a wee patch where we played them. We played Arbroath, Cowdenbeath on the end of that great run, and we lost. We lost to Cowdenbeath, we lost to Arbroath, and it just pulled us back a wee bit in the pack. So then we spoke to them again, and we said, listen, our target now is the playoffs. We can go up via the playoffs if we play to our potential. And again, the players have responded magnificently. They've been great. They've played above themselves, some people would say, but they've done really, really well, and they deserve all the plaudits. It's all down to the players, because this is the players who don't have a team, obviously. The fans have been great, they've done their bit, but it's the players, when they cross that away line, they're the ones that do the business for you.
And when we got that playoff place, and you sit down and you think, right, semi-final against Arbroath, they're pushing Arbroath, they're pushing Cowdenbeath for the league all season. Did you think to yourself, well, we got where we wanted to be, we'll have a game against Arbroath and we'll see what happens? But at that point, could you see us winning it? Or were you really just...
Oh yeah, I could see us beating Arbroath. We had played them down here, unfortunately lose 4-3 in one of the games, if you remember. But we were a better team, we were a stronger team, we were harder to beat towards the end of the season than we had been. The defence, I've said my piece about all the players. I love midfield players and forwards, that's my thing. And when I look at defenders, as long as they defend I'm quite happy. Win their tackles, win their headers, clear the ball, get it to the guys in the middle of the park and the goal scorers. They're the guys that win games for you. But I may have changed my philosophy a wee bit, because the way our defence has played the last couple of months, what a transformation. I spoke to you last year. Do you remember talking to you about McNiff last year?
Yeah.
And I said, I want him to step up this year and be the centre half that I think he can be. And the big guy had a wee shaky spell, and we dropped him. We dropped him in about December time, gave him a few weeks out, and see if he come back. He's been a rock. And Big Lithgow, who looked a wee bit shaky at the start of the season, caused a few goals. I would say probably the last 5 or 6 weeks he's probably been our best player. He's been absolutely outstanding at the back. Every opposition he's come up against, he's had him in his pocket. And fair play, these guys have done well. And we've always had that wee bit of play. These flair players in the middle of the park, your Gohaney's, your Agnews, and Big Nick protecting them. And these are the guys that can open doors. I mean, if that pass today for Agnew, the first pass, I mean, see if you saw that in the Champions League final, you think, what a boy that is. And I'll replay that, you know, because Dargo's looking, he knows it's coming, and it drops over his shoulder, and chips the goalkeeper. Fantastic, fantastic. And that gave us a platform today to build on.
I think that I've often said that, you know, that I think the difference between the leagues in Scotland isn't necessarily the talent, it's the fitness levels due to time constraints. I think certainly, you know, when you look at the coverage that BBC Alba have produced, you know, specifically I'm thinking about when you look at Prunty's goal from Wednesday night, if you saw that in Match of the Day, you'd be like, brilliant.
Aye.
You know, it's...
These players have got it in their locker, and it's like, when you try, last summer, I didn't have a summer last year because I was out there trolling, you know, and speaking to players. I said today I spoke to Prunty and McDonald's and Coatbridge, I spoke to Agnew and Prunty's doing it East Kilbride, and you meet these players and you've seen them playing for other teams and you think, can I get these guys in to gel in a team? I knew it was a big ask because we're all getting chucked in at the deep end, if you like, to start away with, and folk are saying, it's just not happening for Dumbarton. First few games it's just not happening. But because I had brought them in, I believed that they could do it, and it's come to fruition, and it makes me so happy that I'm not saying you proved people wrong, but you proved yourself right, because I knew these guys were capable. I'd watched Prunty taking Dumbarton apart when he played against us. I'd watched Agnew when he played with Rangers. I've known Agnew, played with Hamilton Accies. I've watched him going through. What a flair player! You know, he plays passes, he looks to get it back, a confident player. Gilhaney, we know we've had Mark for a couple of years now, and he's a player that plays in confidence as well. If he's doing well, his first few touches are important in a game, I think, because if he does that well, he goes on to have a great game. And he'll tell you he's the greatest player in the world, Gilhaney. And he believes that, and that's great. That's great. If he thinks he's not the best player in the world, but he thinks he is, so that's brilliant. When I pick the players in the summer, I like to pick a certain type of individual. How do I word this? Decent boys, you know, like, it's quite awkward. Dealings with most of the players that I knew, I didn't want to bring players into the dressing room who could possibly disrupt the dressing room. They've got enough experience now, not just the people, but in football, to realise that one bad apple in your dressing room can cause an awful lot of trouble. So I thought long and hard about the players I was bringing to the club, and to be fair, the boys keep saying to us, and Gilhaney in particular, we're a good bunch of lads, Gaffer, we're a good bunch of lads, and see, to be fair, they are a good bunch, and they pull for each other, they play for each other. You just need to watch them, the way they played today and they played the last couple of days. They're working for each other, they're not just working for themselves. Somebody makes a mistake, there's somebody there to pick up the mantle and carry on, and that's what it's been like since Christmas.
I think you can see as well, you know, it really stands out when there's a goal, the whole team's there. It's not just one person scores a goal, has a wee celebration and back.
Aye.
You know, within seconds the whole team's round him.
Aye. The fourth official said to me the day after we scored, I think it was the third goal, and come on Alan, get them back up the park. And I actually joked, I said, hey, they like each other. You know, they're celebrating a goal, they like each other, so I'm certainly going to tell them to get back up the park. Enjoy it.
And obviously you said you had a busy summer last summer. You're now facing maybe a more daunting task. When do you start thinking about what your plans are for next season?
When that final whistle went today, that's when I started thinking about it.
And do you think, do you know yet if you think that there needs to be wholesale changes across the board, or is it just 2 or 3 players maybe you're looking for?
I'm hoping to keep the spine of the team together. We've done well this year, and it's a first year team, as I keep saying, it's a first year team. They can only get better as a team. If I had 1 or 2 in certain positions for next season, I've watched the way Ayr United, for example. Ayr United were part-time this year, and I've watched them a few times, and they've given as good as they've got against SPL teams. You know, simply because they had that wee bit of team spirit. We've got that in abundance, and if we can add a wee bit more, quality's maybe the wrong word, it's just 1 or 2 that positions that I've got in my mind that could be strengthened. We'll speak this week to the board about money. Money always comes into it. There's always a financial aspect to it, and we'll take it from there. We've a lot of talking to do this week. I was going to bring the players in on Tuesday. I've postponed that to Thursday, simply because it gives me more time to think about a few things, positions, players, etc, etc. How much money we've got, how much money we need. It's going to be a busy week this, and I go on my holidays on Sunday, so I've got to get a lot done this week.
And you've said before you like to get a team in and settled early rather than doing deals right up to the death of the transfer window.
I don't think I'll have a lot of trouble. Fingers crossed. I think the ones I say I give the green light to, we'll just sign them. They'll just sign straight away. Some of the boys are saying that I've spoken to, I'll maybe wait and see if I can get full time. There's not a lot of full time out there.
I think the full time that was out there is now coming away.
Full time now, I would equate it to, they're not getting much more money than our part-time players are getting. That's the truth. But it's simply because they can say they're full time. You know, there may be a few pounds in it, you know, at the end of the day. But if guys have got a job and have got prospects of a job, I would advise them to come to us. That'll be my pitch. Come to us, get your money that we're paying, and augment it with your own job, whatever it may be.
I think when you see, you know, I guess the most high profile examples may be McAllister going to Peterhead. You know, the times we live in now, you maybe can't afford to give up a job for the sake of a risk of 1 year playing full time. That's right.
It's a thought for players. I spoke to Brian Printy. Brian's got prospects of a new job. If he gets this new job, great, more power to him. But he's also got the wee earner at the side, he's part-time football. You know, and if guys, the best one I remember is Stevie Murray. When Stevie came, I had a big party playing, and Stevie Murray coming here, and we managed to talk him into it purely because he had this job part-time, and we could give him part-time wages, which gave him more money at the end of the week than playing full-time for somebody, and that's how it worked. And I'll be using that pitch again this year. If a guy's got a job, then great, take your wages for your work, but we'll give you X amount to put some more money in your pocket.
And do you think that, given the fact that, you know, I think Greenock Morton are going to a half full time, Wraith Rovers are doing the same, do you think this is maybe the best year you could choose to go up?
Possibly. Aye, possibly. You made a great point there, Gary, because a lot of teams that I know, having spoken to their managers, are saying we just not get the funds, we're going to have to try and get players for X amount and try and get players for such and such. And I'm fortunate in that I've got most of my team, and hopefully this week, by the end of next week, I'll be able to say to you, we've got so and so, we've got so and so, we've got, you know, it'll be most of the players that are in the squad, and that's the backbone of your team for next season.
And if we just finish up talking about the fans this season, I think particularly the away fans, and how much they've affected the team.
Oh, tremendous. You know, don't get me wrong, the home fans, when you look across at the home fans, there's maybe not so much vocals, you know, but they're all there, and you get the impression they're all pitching for you. But when you go away, it seems to be the diehards, if you like, who travel on the supporters' bus, and by here they make some noise, you know, and you hear them, the players hear them, you go a goal down, and start chanting again, you get your goal back, it definitely gives the players a lift, you know, and they probably told you that tonight themselves, if you've spoken about fans, they get a real lift from it, and you see the way they celebrate with the fans, you've seen the way that they've sort of mixed with the fans tonight, you know, and interacted with the fans. It's a two-way thing, and it comes across, it sounds cheesy, but family club, you know, fans can meet the players, and I think it's just brilliant.
Were you worried today when everyone that scored was getting a yellow card for celebrating, that if we scored any more goals we'd have no players left?
I didn't notice, I thought it was only Gilhaney that get booked for celebrating.
Dargo got booked.
Did he get booked as well?
For celebrating, yeah.
Over celebrating?
Aye.
I'm surprised at that. I mean, it was absolutely horrible when me Gill took his shirt off. You know, I mean, for goodness sake, that must have been a spurring moment for the wee man, and I bet he's regretting it now, because he's taking pelters through there. And if folks slow-mo that, you know, and he's moving about in the bare squad, I mean, that's horrible. But we're laughing with this.